Bouvier is the Acting Minister of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence. Dr. Jeffrey Blaise, who is our Chief Education Officer Acting. Mrs. Nazarene Teach, Williams Teach, our Senior Education Officer, Secondary Schools. Mr. Robert Gist, our Senior Education Officer, Curriculum, Measurement and Evaluation. Ms. Magali Celestine, our Education Officer, Examination, and she is also the CXC Registrar. Other Ministry of Education officials. Dr. Golders Nadakani, President of the St. Nicholas University School of Veterinary Medicine. Also Dr. Lirock, who is the Dean of St. Nicholas University School of Veterinary Medicine. Other faculty and staff members of St. Nicholas University, our secondary school principals, our awardees, parents and guardians, Ms. Tasha Peltier, Pierre Savre, who is here as well. We want to recognize you. Members of the media, the listening public, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here as we begin this awards ceremony this afternoon, and I want to invite Ms. Tasha Peltier to lead us in the national anthem, and I invite all to please stand.
Good afternoon, and let's get ourselves in a mood for prayer as we invite the Holy Spirit to be with us this afternoon. Heavenly Father, we praise and thank you for today. We thank you, Lord God, because you've been so good to Dominica. You've been so good to our education system, to our students. And today we want to give you praise. We want to give you thanks, Lord God, for these achievements and for the blessings, Father God, which you bestowed upon us. Father God, I ask you to continue to bless all our schools, all our education leaders, Father God, in this country, especially our principals, the staff of the Ministry of Education, our permanent secretary, our chief education officer, our minister, and all our officers, Father God. Continue to give everyone the strength and the guidance, Lord God, as we continue to persevere. And this afternoon, Lord God, we offer up to you our students, Lord God, who have excelled. They have excelled, Father God, because you, Father God, have allowed their teachers the gift of knowledge and wisdom which they were able to bestow upon the students. And we just ask you to continue to be with us, and we welcome your presence here this afternoon as we go through this ceremony. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Mrs. White Christian, please be seated. To welcome us here this afternoon officially, I want to invite Dr. Jeffrey Bless, our Acting Chief Education Officer, to do so formally.
Thank you very much, PS. Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Gregory Riviere, who is the Acting Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence. Mrs. Shanna Hyacinth, who is the chairperson for this function and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education. Mr. Reginald Salvering, who is the PS of Housing, who is with us this afternoon. Mrs. Nazarene Teet, who is the Senior Education Officer for Secondary Schools. Mr. Robert Geese, who is the Senior Education Officer for Curriculum Measurement and Evaluation. Ms. Madeline Celestine, who is the Education Officer for Examinations and our local registrar. We also have with us Mrs. Shalom White Christian and Ms. Hyacinth, who is the Social Studies Curriculum Officer, providing significant support to the team as well as other staff of the Ministry of Education. Dr. Golaz Nalaskani, hope I pronounced it correct, who is the president of the St. Nicholas University, my good friend. Good afternoon. Our uninvited guests, secondary school principals. I don't know if you have any teachers with us, secondary school teachers this afternoon. The awardees, their parents who are proudly celebrating with them. Ms. Tasha Pelletier, who gave us a beautiful rendition for National Anthem. Members of the media who provide significant PR support to the Ministry of Education. And members of the listening public who are keenly listening to the events this afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome. It's indeed a pleasure and an honor to celebrate the successes of our students. The students are, as indicated, those who have excelled and those we are honoring at the national and at the regional level, as you will soon see a little later on in the program. And these are students who have excelled at CAPE, CSEC, and CCSLC examination. The efforts of the students, and they will always say that, I keenly recall students who were usually honored in graduation ceremonies. They give the tributes in this following order. To God, who have made their successes possible. Then they recognize the efforts of their parents, the family and friends. And then they recognize their own efforts, the hard work, the discipline, and the commitment. And that is important. This is the combination that makes success possible. And every student iterates that during ceremonies. We also want to recognize the efforts of those who assisted within the system to make the students successful. And I speak here of the principals at the various schools, the teachers, the support staff, down to the janitor and the cleaner and the watchman. And all these are very, very important persons within the system, the administrative staff, because they are the ones who informally nudge the students around and tell them, hey, you can make it. Many times we think it's just the teachers, but no, it may be the school counselor or the janitor who says, hey, I see potential in you. Go ahead, you can make it. So we need to recognize the efforts of those persons. I also want to, while I'm at it, recognize the tremendous efforts of the local registrar, Miss Magali Celeste, who has been doing a remarkable job in managing the affairs of the regional examinations over the past years, and she deserves a round of applause. And that's very important. While we are celebrating this afternoon, I want us to also reflect and celebrate the students who may not have reached this mark, but they were very successful in their own rights. They made the effort. Many of them got significant awards, though not being here recognized at this event. They have succeeded. And we often say success is really what you think of. It's the effort that you put into an exercise and the results that you expect based on your efforts. So we want to, while we're celebrating the successes of those who have excelled and they have put significant energies and determination and commitment into it, but also those who are listening to them in their success, we want to congratulate them as well. I welcome everybody here, and we're really happy as a Ministry of Education, as Ms. White Christian said, to celebrate the successes of our system, the successes of our students, of our schools, of your parents. And we welcome everybody to this event this afternoon. Thank you, and you're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Blaise. We have some opening remarks at this time from Honorable Gregory Rivera, who is our Acting Minister of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and the National Excellence. Let us make him feel welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes. Let me say good afternoon to everyone. First of all, let me acknowledge our Permanent Secretary, John himself, Dr. Blaise, our Chief Education Officer, Acting, Mrs. Nazarene Williams, Senior Education Officer, Secondary Schools, Mr. Robert Geese, Senior Education Officer, Curriculum Management, Measurement and Evaluation, Ms. Magali Celeste, Education Officer, Examination and Local Registrar, Water Ministry of Education officials, Dr. Golnaz Nadakani, President, St. Nicholas University School of Veterinary Medicine, also the other members of that university, staff, faculty, secondary school principals, awardees, parents, guardians, Tasha Peltier, and I must say that was a lovely rendition of the national anthem. I guess she's preparing that voice for Saturday night. Members of the media, and of course our listening public. This is supposed to be a celebration, and I'm hoping, P.S., that we are going to kill the fattest calf at the end of this ceremony, because we have two young people who brought us to this occasion, and we really have to, in local palace, pick them up. Mr. Jason Joseph. Who's Mr. Jason Joseph? Stand so that we can see. I want to know who is Mr. Jason Joseph. Give him a round of applause. And Tana Tahira Valma. First of all, let me apologize for the absence of our Honorable Minister, who would have loved to be here, but due to circumstances beyond her control, she's unable to be with us today. However, I spoke with her yesterday, and she asked me to convey her best wishes and her congratulations to the students, the teachers, and their parents, and of course, by extension, the Ministry of Education. While she's unable to share this momentous occasion with us, I am very elated to be here and to basically share a few words. So, I want to say that I'm celebrating with you this second virtual CXC Top Performing 2021 Awardees Ceremony. The Ministry of Education is privileged to partner with the Caribbean Examination Council and the Ministry of Education of the British Virgin Islands, who of course is the official host of this ceremony. Although held virtually, the ceremony is no less significant as we gather to recognize the outstanding performance of our young people, the gem of Dominica, and of course the Caribbean by extension. Awards are given to encourage good behavior and inculcate competitive spirit. And this is the reason why CXC organizes these award ceremony every year to encourage our students throughout the Caribbean. We have gathered here not just to celebrate the achievement of our wonderful awardees, but to give due regard to the values and morals which these young people have exemplified. Values and morals such as discipline, compassion, and tremendous zeal for learning. You have brought glory and success to yourselves, your families, your country, and of course, the region. These awardees have demonstrated tremendous resilience during the pandemic. The fact that our awardees, including those across the region, have all done so well is a demonstration that there is a strong support mechanism in place, and that includes, of course, their parents, their teachers, their principals, and of course, their friends. I am proud and I feel honored to stand here before you and say that Dominica has caught the top CCSLC Male Performer Award, and that person hails from the Cassigrus Secondary School, and the top CCSLC Female Award Performance, and that person hails from the Dominica Grammar School. In essence, we are saying that both top CCSLC students in the entire Caribbean came from Dominica, and I think that deserves a very, very important. This proves that wherever students go to school, whichever secondary school, in whichever region, once you apply yourself and you have the parental support, you can succeed, you can do well. You, the students, being awarded here today, will be an example of what we can achieve despite the most difficult circumstances. I want to thank the teachers who have prepared them under these most trying circumstances. I wish to congratulate you for your hard work and all that you have done. I wish to commend you for your demonstration of strength and endurance, and I wish to encourage you in your future endeavors. I encourage you to walk boldly into the unknown future in this post-COVID era. I encourage all to continue to support our young people and our children. Exercise empathy and patience for all. The Ministry of Education will continue to provide the necessary resource and the necessary support to ensure that all Dominican students continue to excel, not just nationally, but can compete regionally and, of course, on the international scale. Once again, I want to congratulate all of you, and special congratulations to the two young people who brought us here this afternoon. And as I mentioned earlier, I am looking forward to the champagne. I am looking forward to killing the fattest calf. I like my pork barbecue. So, sister, make sure that is available. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for those encouraging words. At this time, we are getting ready to go on live. Because we're supposed to go on live. But before we'll do it, we'll go on, and then after, Tasha Peltier will see. We have time still? We can go ahead and entertain?
We can do one.
Okay. Let's invite Tasha Peltier to entertain us in song while we organize to go on live with CXC.
Let me just see. Let me just say that I am very privileged. I feel very privileged to be in the presence of the two young people to put Dominica on the map. Congratulations again, and it's good to be a part of situations and events as such, so you know. You fixing my mic? It sounds a little funny. Technical difficulties.
Good afternoon, Jody. Nice to have you.
Hi, Matthew.
All right, could you please enable your video just so that we have it running throughout?
In a minute.
Okay. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, the lighting is good. The framing is good. Perfect.
I live with a production crew, you know.
Alrighty. Thank you.
So they checked me earlier. All right, so I can turn off now?
I would recommend keeping it open.
Okay.
Yeah, because everyone with video, just keep it running just in case any network issues or anything. So.
No problem.
All right, thank you. Yeah, because everyone with video, just keep it running just in case any network issues.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
giving it my all. Winter storms
Matthew,
have
are you hearing me?
and darkened my sun. After all that I've been through.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tom. Are you there?
I look to you. I look to you. And after all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you.
Hey, so what strength again, Matthew?
You.
Yes, I am.
I look to you.
Oh, that's Andy.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to do a check quickly after hearing me with my headsets on and my mic.
Yes, sounds
Tell
very clear.
me how it sounds without the headset and the mic, because I want to see what it sounds like, but I hear what it sounds like without, just in case I choose to use that instead.
Okay, sure.
All right.
About to lose my
Disconnected. Am I being heard well enough?
There's no more fighting.
Yes, but I do prefer with before.
You prefer with before? Okay, so
Yeah.
it means I have to look like I'm the traffic controller for the rest of it.
And every road that I've
That's so much clearer, I
taken
must
All
say.
right.
led to
We'll
my
stick to that. Thank you.
regret.
Thank you.
All right.
And I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Nothing to do but lift my head. I look to you, you. I look to you, yeah. And after all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you, I look to you. Oh yeah, and when melodies are gone, in you I hear a song. I look to you. My legs have broken, my walls have come tumbling down on me. The rain is falling, defeat is calling. I need you to set me free. Take me far away from the battle. I need you to shine on me. I look to you, you. I look to you. Oh yeah. And after all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you, I look to you. Oh yeah, and when melodies are gone, in you I hear a song.
Quiet. Bluetooth connected.
It's starting.
No, no, anything. CXC don't have the one like that. That's one picture. Give computer music. So they have the volume on yours, not on his. So don't make a class on here. Your computer has no volume, right? So the monitor has there. Trials. The next people you watch on one, I think you volume on another one. So we can hear from you on what it is. And volume, you want mic, same kids, St. Lucia, they passed Dominic already.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Turks and Caicos,
What's the name of the speaker?
and the Virgin Islands.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Thank you, Virgin Islands Cadet Corps, for the introduction of the national flags, and we will remain standing for the invocation. I now invite Reverend Dr. Keith B. Lewis, Circuit Superintendent, the Methodist Church, to the podium.
Shall we bow in prayer? We praise you, O God. We acknowledge you to be the Lord, the inspiration of our life, the provision of all the resources necessary for our life and living. We honor your presence not only at this moment, but from the dawn of today. And we are reminded that it is you who have made us, and not we ourselves. We are your people, created in Christ Jesus for good works. And as we meet this afternoon across our region, we give you thanks for having led us these many years. And at each occasion, we meet to celebrate excellence. Excellence in the pursuit of the development of the human capacity to live and to be excellent lives, to honor and to praise you. So we give you thanks for the provision of the resources across our region necessary to support our education systems. We thank you for those who manage those systems. We ask your divine blessing upon the CXC Council and all those who are its administrators. We thank you for all the ministers of education and their permanent secretaries, for all institutions of learning and those who administer them. Most of all, we thank you for the homes from which our children have come. So we ask your divine blessing upon their parents. We thank you for those who invest themselves in enabling our people, your people, to develop to the best of their capabilities. So today, as we celebrate excellence in our children, we offer this celebration to you as an offering. And we bless your name and ask that you bless our proceedings today to the honor and glory of your name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Keith Lewis. Kindly remain standing for the Virgin Islands Territorial Song. I now welcome Ms. Toria Price, student at the Brigade of Flags Educational Center Secondary School, to lead us.
Good afternoon, everyone.
pride. To preserve the beauty, we devise a plan to obtain ownership of this precious land. Educating your people is the golden key to maintain the success of this territory. Oh, how radiant are your daughters, and how wealthy are your sons. Your beaches boast your beauty, and your success is second to none. Green and brilliant are your hillsides, they replenish our hopes and pride. Beautiful virgin island can never be mine. May God richly bless this territory. May we ask three things of thee. Courage for our great leaders, that they may rule our destiny. We ask for wisdom for our people, that they may live in harmony. Understanding for our children, that they may cherish his legacy. Oh, how radiant are your daughters, and how wealthy are your sons. Your beaches boast your beauty, and your success is second to none. Green and brilliant are your hillsides, they replenish our hopes and pride. Oh, beautiful virgin island, can never be denied. Oh, beautiful virgin islands, your qualities can never be denied. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Toria Price. Audience, please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to the CXC 2021 Regional Top Awards Ceremony hosted by the Caribbean Examination Council and the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, Virgin Islands. I am Arlene T. Penn, and I am the Director of Communications with the Government of the Virgin Islands, and it is my responsibility to take you through today's program, and I'm looking forward to spending this afternoon with you on this regional tour that we will take virtually. The task is mine to establish the protocol. Premier and Minister of Finance of the Virgin Islands, the Honorable Andrew A. Foy, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, the Virgin Islands, Minister for Natural Resources, Labor and Immigration, Honorable Vincent O. Wheatley, Deputy Governor, Mr. David Archer Jr. and Dr. Alison Archer, the Virgin Islands, Senator, the Honorable Gregory Riviere, Acting Minister of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Dr. the Honorable Priya D. Manikchand, Minister of Education, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, the Honorable Fayval Williams, Minister of Education and Youth, Jamaica, Dr. the Honorable Nayan Gadsby Dolly, Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Lisa Morris Julian, Minister in the Ministry of Education, Trinidad and Tobago, Ministers of Education and other ministers across the region joining us online via CXC TV. Dr. Marcia Potter, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, the Virgin Islands, and Deputy Chair, CXC. Professor Paloma Mohamed Martin, Vice Chancellor, 11 for the University of Guyana. Distinguished CXC Council members joining us today, including former CXC Chairman, Professor the Most Honorable Sir Kenneth Hall, Chancellor of the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, Mrs. Betty Aline Headley, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Barbados, Mr. Alfred King, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Mrs. Lenore Baptiste Simmons, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Kurt Meyer, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Wayne Wesley, Registrar and CEO, CXC, Dr. Edward Ali, Pro Registrar, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, CXC and CXC's executive team, Dr. Connie George, Chief Education Officer, Acting, Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, the Virgin Islands, Dr. Marcel Hudson, Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, other permanent secretaries, chief education officers, and deputy chief education officers from across the region, Reverend Dr. Keith B. Lewis, Circuit Superintendent, Methodist Church, Miss Jodine Williams, Senior Manager, Syllabus and Curriculum Development Department, CXC, Mr. Teddy Rajan, Senior Manager, Examinations Administration and Security Division, CXC, local registrars joining online, CXC's partners and sponsors, including the University of the West Indies, the University of Guyana, ACCA Caribbean, Harder Education, RM Education, and the Caribbean Association of Banks. Mrs. Candice Cave Stevens, Principal, Queen's College, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, staff of CXC, principals, teachers and educators from across the region, teachers, associations and unions, or specially invited guests this afternoon, the most outstanding awardees from across the region, students, parents and guardians, media representatives from across the region, ladies and gentlemen, a special welcome to members of the audience joining the awards ceremony online via www.cxc.org/CXC TV. I've now established the protocols. I now welcome the Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, to bring his welcome and opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. God's blessings to you all. I acknowledge and adopt the protocol which has already been established, but indulge me in acknowledging the Premier of the Virgin Islands, Honorable Andrew Foy, my fellow education ministers across the region, and all other distinguished and invited guests. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to this virtual presentation of awards for outstanding performances in the June-July 2021 CXC examination session. As a founding member of the Caribbean Examination Council, it gives us great pride in the British Virgin Islands to host such an event, as it signals our continuous and unwavering commitment to this regional and globally competitive organization, which continues to push our young persons to excellence in achieving their God-given potential in these ever-shifting and ever-changing times. We have been so committed to CXC that we have loaned CXC our beloved and preeminent education expert and distinguished permanent secretary, Dr. Marcia Pata, who despite her many accolades and accomplishments remains my favorite history teacher. Since 1988, CXC has honored candidates for their outstanding performances in examinations. This year's virtual ceremony demonstrates the organization's adaptability. Having to adapt is well known to Virgin Islanders, as we were the first to host fully virtual examinations following the devastating hurricanes of 2017. I must also take this opportunity to congratulate the chairman, Dr. Hilary Beckles, deputy chair, Dr. Marcia Pata, the registrar, Dr. Wayne Wesley, and the entire CXC organization for their creativity, resilience, and flexibility in navigating these very difficult times brought on in large part by the COVID-19 pandemic, which is the defining event of the last 2 years. Steering the ship during this time has not been easy, but like so many other obstacles in the path of the development of the Caribbean civilization, we continue to overcome. I close my remarks with unreserved adulation directed at those who continue to give us hope and who will allow us to manifest the lofty aspirations which plague us in our dreams. Our students, congratulations for your success in the 2021 exams. What is already a rigorous and daunting process was compounded by the complications of social distancing, lockdowns, curfews, and quickly adapting to virtual platforms. You have conquered every challenge, and I join with the rest of the region in singing your praises. And your success is also the success of your parents, teachers, communities, education systems, and nations. God's blessings upon you and continue along the path of greatness. I thank you.
I thank you, Minister Whitley. I now invite Dr. Wayne Wesley, Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Caribbean Examination Council, based in Barbados, to bring his remarks.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony, Dr. Aliena Penn, Director of Communications with the Government of the Virgin Islands, Premier and Minister of Finance of the Virgin Islands, the Honorable Andrew Foy and Mrs. Foy, Dr. the Honorable Wheatley, Minister of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture of the Virgin Islands, other distinguished ministers of education and ministers of government from across the region, Deputy Governor Mr. David Archer and Dr. Alison Archer of the Virgin Islands, Dr. Marcia Potter, Deputy Chair of the Caribbean Examinations Council and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture of the Virgin Islands, and distinguished council members, permanent secretaries, local registrars, other distinguished participants, including the most outstanding awardees, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with a deep sense of appreciation and gratitude to the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth, Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture of the Virgin Islands for agreeing to host this year's Regional Top Awards Ceremony. Thank you for committing your resources to this annual event that acknowledges the hard work and dedication of these most outstanding students. The award ceremony hosted last year and this year's highlight the steadfastness and resilience of the people of this region. Despite the adversity, we seek not only to overcome, but to excel against all odds. The students that we are honoring today have shown exceptional levels of determination and creativity that they are known and are now reaping the fruits of their labor. Certainly, heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night, according to Henry Longfellow. These students would have been demonstrating the resilience, the tenacity, and the willpower to succeed against all odds. COVID-19 pandemic and the disruption that it has caused to the education system has not prevented them from shining and giving their best. And today I'm immensely proud that we are in a position to honor the hard work and dedication of these students. Certainly, their success would not have been a reality had it not been for the courageous and hard-working provisions made by the respective ministries of education. The teachers who would have committed their time and effort in operating within a new environment occasioned by the pandemic. But because of their own commitment to the region and the development of the human capital of this region, we are able to celebrate this afternoon because of the work of our ministries, our teachers, and respective administrators. I cannot also not recognize the work of the parents who would have made it possible to accommodate the students within a new environment, most of them working from their own homes, bedrooms, living rooms, kitchen, and dining rooms, would have been transformed into an area of learning. However, the commitment for higher achievement, the commitment for one to demonstrate their best was evident. And because of that, we are celebrating this afternoon the accomplishment of our students who have committed themselves to excellence. As we celebrate these exceptional students who have made their parents, teachers, and countries proud, CXC is continuously improving our processes to even better serve the next cohort of exceptional students. Through our 5-year strategic plan, we are working to create a holistic transformation of the region's education system by modernizing our current practices as it relates to learning, assessment, and the administration of examination. Our e-transformation framework will allow both in-school students and out of school student population to have great access to high quality learning support through our CXC Learning Hub that we are now modernizing and transforming for greater impact and effectiveness in facilitating learning. Not only are we focusing on students, but we are also focusing on building capacity within teachers. And our Learning Institute is now being transformed to ensure that relevant, targeted capacity building of teachers within our school network right across the region will be enhanced and relevant to the needs of our teachers. These tools will be available through our Learning Hub right across the region. Students will also have more flexibility in the scheduling of examinations and will be able to benefit from remote testing using methods such as secure browser encryption, and penetration testing. We will ensure that our cyber security environment is preserving the integrity of our examinations as we move to a digital environment and platform. We continue to work with our partners, the Ministry of Education across the region, as we prepare to increase our offerings for e-testing in 2023. As we continue to increase the global recognition of CXC qualifications through partnerships, more and more students will benefit from seamless matriculation, seamless matriculation processes, and wider access to learning opportunities across the four corners of the earth. Our aim is to ensure that wherever you go, the qualification that you have worked so hard to achieve will always carry the hallmark of excellence. CXC also seeks to tackle the problem of students leaving school right across the education system of the region without a qualification, and will seek now to implement a CTEC qualification which will gear towards building character, citizenry, as well as technical education for employment, to ensure that our students and every child leaving school will be equipped to make a positive contribution to society and take advantage of the new economy that is emerging, the digital transformation of our education system, digital transformation of our agricultural processes, the entire transformation of our economy should benefit from persons receiving qualification that prepares them optimally to function in an environment that has now been occasioned by COVID-19. Competencies such as entrepreneurship and good citizenry will be emphasized in our new CTEC qualification. As a regional body, CXC continues to grow and evolve, and we recognize that we cannot do this without the support of you, our valued stakeholders. At every given opportunity, I reiterate our pledge to be more inclusive and collaborative in our decision-making approach. And this will play a critical role in the continued development of CXC and by extension, the people of the region. Awardees, you have started a journey of preservation and excellence. Therefore, go with our blessings, knowing that the levels that you have achieved and determination that you have demonstrated, the commitment that you have demonstrated over these past few years have laid the foundation for a bright future. Thank you, and may God bless you richly.
We thank you, Dr. Wesley. The pleasure is now mine to invite my history teacher, one of my mentors, Dr. Marcia Potter, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries, and Agriculture, and the Deputy Chair of the CXC, to bring remarks on behalf of Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Chairman of the CXC.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, students. Both the minister and the mistress of ceremonies kind of threw me off guard here. But good afternoon. I'm pleased to address you all today as we celebrate the 2021 cohort of students who completed the suite of CXC examinations. I would first like to bring apologies from our chairman, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, who could not be here with us today. And I must add that I am very happy for the opportunity to step in on his behalf, not only as the Deputy Chair of Council, but also because I am the Permanent Secretary of the host ministry. This year, CXC marks a milestone, 50 years since our establishment in 1972. Although we did not administer the first examinations until 7 years later, and I'm proud to say I was a teacher of first cohort of students from high school then, those early years were important to lay the groundwork of this regional organization that has grown from strength to strength. CXC is an organization that continues to be responsive and agile to meet the needs of its member countries. Our purpose is one of great importance, and our chairman, myself, and members of the council and the executive management and staff of CXC understand and revere the roles that have been entrusted to us. CXC was established in a time of growing regional independence. West Indian leaders shared a desire to revise the education curriculum to reflect our people's experiences and aspirations, and as a result, the examinations would also reflect this Caribbean content. Although we began with only one qualification in 1979, the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, or CSEC as we call it, CXC has since developed a suite of qualifications to develop the human capital of our Caribbean people through partnerships for global competitiveness. Our aim is to evolve with the changing needs of global market requirements for employment and education. As such, last year we embarked on our current 5-year strategic plan, which will see the Caribbean Examinations Council transforming, as you just heard the registrar say, into a digitally oriented regional enterprise. This enterprise requires the collaborative efforts of all of our member countries. Each country has its unique needs, but we also have much in common. When we sit at the table together, sharing ideas and working as a team, it redounds to the benefit of our candidates, our citizens, and the future of the region. The countries of this region have long understood the benefits of collaboration, and so the governing body of CXC is made up of representatives from our 16 member countries, and together we work to ensure that whether our region's students aspire to higher education or employment, they can step out confidently with world-class qualifications administered in a way that is fair, reliable, and valid. As we look to the future of increased remote working, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and electronic testing and certification, CXC realizes that in order for us to contribute to the development of agile, digitally literate, critical thinkers, we too must stand ready to listen, learn, and adapt. On behalf of the chairman, my fellow members of council, I extend hearty congratulations to all outstanding awardees, their parents and guardians, teachers and other supporters on all of the hard work that went into these accomplishments, especially as we have been going through the difficult period of the COVID pandemic. We hope you will use the skills and knowledge you have gained during your studies to continue to shine brightly wherever you go and make our region proud. God bless and keep you on the next phase of your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Potter, for your remarks. And we will now be favored with a performance by the Elmore Stout High School dancers in the Virgin Islands.
The time has come for the sons and daughters all to stand as one. As one, we can change the world. As one, we can make things better. Let's lend a hand with love and grace. We stand a chance to make a change. We can make a change. Here are Virgin Islands. We stand as one, and we won't fall. We are the ones. The future lives inside us. Let's work together, united from the heart. All we need is each other. Don't be afraid of obstacles. Everything will be the same. Life is bound to change, 'cause I know today will be endless. And even though it seems that times get harder as it goes by, we all fall down sometimes. Don't give up, no, no. The sun is gonna come out, and I'll be right there when you come. Virgin Islands. PVI, baby. British Virgin Islands, this one's for us. Put your hands up. Let's get this party started right now. Let's get this party rolling right now. Let's get this party started right now. Let's get this party rolling right now. I said, ladies, are you ready? Let me see you dance up on the floor. I said, ladies, are you ready? Let me see you dance just on the floor. I said, gentlemen, are you ready? Swing the ladies, them on the floor. I said, gentlemen, are you ready? Swing the ladies, them on the floor. You get me? Jerusalem, Itayalami, Bilondoloze, Ambenami, Zungangishila, Yaoyami, Aikolana, Musowami, Aukolana, Bilondoloze, Zuhambenami. We don't have much time, but I want to make sure that we have a good time. Ready or not? Walk your way, no. Show me what you got. And we're going to pretend like we're Korean. Ladies, seatbelt, seatbelt. Show me what you got. Jesus. All right, let's go. Omega, we long up. But our we broke with. Low emancipation, yeah, they must be crazy. Black lives matter, so I'm walking with my brothers, and we gonna do whatever if you win there. Bounce up and down. One man massive, yeah. It's all time now. Bounce up and down. Virgin Islands massive, sign it. Wait. Sing it out. Just like this. Tell them we gon' do it just like this. Separating the real from the phony. If you want it, I got it to show me. Show me what you got. I love how weird. I love how weird. Show me what you got. Do what you want and do it how you want. Ladies,
Okay, please give the Elmore Stout High School dancers another round of applause. The future is for the prepared. I now invite our Premier and Minister of Finance, Honorable Andrew A. Foy from the Virgin Islands, to deliver the feature address.
I recognize the protocols already established, and I wish each and every one of you a pleasant, good day and God's blessings. May I say welcome to the Virgin Islands, albeit for some of you, this visit is a virtual one.
It is my sincere wish that with all the remarkable talent throughout the world, the cooperation and unity of global community, and the graciousness of God, that we can soon regain some of the freedoms, comforts, luxuries, and opportunities that we have had to set aside due to this unfortunate and deadly pandemic, which is the worst pandemic to hit the world in more than 100 years. The people of the Virgin Islands would have loved nothing more than to host those of you who are with us virtually in person and to treat you to our hospitality, our white sandy beaches, and wondrous natural formations such as our coral reefs and the world-famous baths on Virgin Gorda, as well as to have you tasting our great lobsters from Anegada. Perhaps and hopefully we will have that opportunity in the future. Today we are gathered to recognize the achievements of the top performance students in the past academic year in the various subjects for which the Caribbean Examination Council, CXC, conducts examinations. I wish to first of all congratulate all the students who will be receiving awards today. It is true, as the saying goes, that if you do the work, the benefits will surely follow. You have worked very hard. Most, if not all of you, consistently with tremendous sacrifice. And may I venture to guess, even battling the numerous temptations that could have distracted you from your mission. You stuck with it through all kinds of challenges. And when the assessments were done and the marks tallied, you prevailed. Congratulations. And you must feel especially proud because you have made these achievements while dealing with all kinds of disruptions from COVID-19. Never fought like this before in our educational history for achievements like what you had to do with COVID-19. So never forget the journey that you have traveled in reaching today's milestone. I'm sure you would agree with me that there is a gold mine of lessons, good and bad, that will help you to continue succeeding in the future that lies ahead of you. If you find that you are confused, at a low point, overwhelmed, or in doubt, go back into your memories and retrace your steps to this moment. And remember, you can overcome anything. You can achieve anything. You have done it before, and for sure, you will do it again. I say this to you because there may be some of you, although I generally doubt it, who believe that this is the destination. But this is just the transition point in a phase in your academic life, your personal growth and your maturing process. It is a milestone. And many more milestones are waiting ahead for you to conquer. You are brilliant, and therefore you will conquer those challenges and more. And as you continue on your amazing life journeys, do take time to appreciate the support systems that have been putting the wind beneath your wings, your parents and guardians, your governments and their ministries of education, the local registrars, principals, teachers, markers, and other stakeholders who contribute tirelessly in the background for the advancement of others like yourself. Remember your peers who sat in the same classrooms with you, having study groups with you, making you laugh to ease the tension, or just being there when you needed someone to talk to. They may not be standing with you in this moment, but they are part of your success story and part of your journey. The qualifications you have earned from CXC are very valuable. The CXC standard is extremely high. These qualifications are recognized by universities and employers around the world. Those of you who have already applied to universities in foreign countries can attest to this. And the reason why you are able to use your Caribbean earned qualifications to access these opportunities is because of the quality of the curricula that the CXC has been producing to guide the education and training of Caribbean people since 1972. It is also why the CXC comprises of 16 participating countries: Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Belize, the Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. And it collaborates with countries in the Dutch Caribbean, Curacao, Saba, St. Eustatius, and St. Martin, as well as Suriname. All of these countries have confidence in the CXC, its curricula, and its examination systems. They trust the CXC standard for the education of their people and the development of their most valuable asset, their people. And this speaks volumes, especially when we see so many persons from the region making great achievements in all the disciplines around the world. The other important thing to note about the wider membership of the CXC is that it brings together a diversity of minds and competencies, each informed by the experiences, circumstances, and vision of the respective member country. So the content and the product of their collaboration is not narrow. It has a very broad base. Thus, the students who pass through these programs are equipped to be very dynamic. This is something the universities and the employers recognize. That is why they love to grab up our talented students. That is why they find that our Caribbean educated people are good performers in the workplace. And all of this has to be credited to the fine work of the persons who work in the background at the CXC. I, of course, encourage all our CXC graduates, the top performers, and those who achieved but did not achieve the highest grades but succeeded nonetheless, to pursue your gifts to the highest and farthest limits. By all means, excel. The world is your oyster. But at the same time, I urge you to consider it a noble duty to help to build your home country and to build this region. At some point, if you travel abroad for further education or work, please return and make a contribution to your home. I say this because it has been the mission of every government in the Caribbean to correct certain historical circumstances through investing in the education of persons like yourself. If you consider the history of our islands and how the people who inhabit them came to live there, your foreparents, you would see that for the most part, circumstances were thrust upon them. And those circumstances put them and their generations at a disadvantage. These circumstances did not equip them to manage their own affairs and to chart their own destinies or to provide a better future for their generations. Those visionaries, those persons who were driven by ambition and the dream of a better life, recognized that they needed to take matters into their own hands and create the pathway for the development of their countries, the countries where they would be raising their children. And if you go into the history of each and every island, you will find that this is how the school systems, primary and secondary, came into existence. You would find that this is how and why we have institutions like the University of the West Indies and the CXC. And the road to establishing these schools, universities, and institutions was not easy in a lot of cases. Even something as good and noble as developing people to lift their standard of life and their prospects was often met with resistance from certain forces in a lot of our countries. Were it not for the determination of many of our early educators and other like-minded persons, the educational opportunities that today are your basic human right would not have been possible. The sacrifices, the struggles, and the work done were to pave the way for you to have these opportunities today and for you to be able to excel and have bright futures. But it was also aimed at building and developing the human resource capital in the countries and the region so that we can be resilient, so that we can develop, so that our countries and their people could be prosperous and have human security, so that we could rise above the negative labels that have been allocated to us, such as third world, developing countries, and more recently, global south. These labels affect people psychologically in many ways. They stunt our moral and stunt our morale and make us doubt our abilities. They make us feel intimidated in certain settings. They cause others not to treat us with the respect we deserve. They hold back our progress and limit our productivity and development. The young people of our island nations are the future of our islands and our region. As you mature in your chosen career paths, you will find that much of what you will be doing is searching for solutions to problems. And these will be opportunities for you to stamp your mark, perhaps with some groundbreaking discovery. You will also find that many of those problems are the same in many countries. You can research and solve those problems in your own countries and export the solutions to the world. Our region has a lot to offer and a lot of discoveries waiting to be made if we change how we view our islands. You can have the best of both worlds right here in the Caribbean with warm weather and beaches at your doorsteps. The thoughts that I have just shared with you are the thoughts that engage me, my Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Whitley, and our team in the ministry, as well as in other ministries and departments of governments in the Virgin Islands. As a premier of the Virgin Islands and as a former educator myself, I'm mindful that education is the key to progress, both for the individual and also for the society and the country. This is the message that we continuously share with our people, especially where the Virgin Islands is at a critical juncture in our development. It is also important because we are faced with challenges, some of which are global in nature and which urgent solutions are needed, but which does not seem high on anyone else's priority list. This means it is up to us to find our own solutions. One such problem is climate change, to which we have a front row seat. For us, it is beyond urgent, but other countries see no need for urgency on their part. And this is just one of many issues. But like all of these and those issues, it is education and human capital development that is our greatest hope for securing and bettering the lives of our people. And that is why I firmly believe that the Caribbean is going to be one of the greatest economic powers in the world in the near future. Why? I'm glad that you asked. Because our strategy is very simple. The more we invest in the education of our people, the stronger our human resources become. And then the more diversified our economies will become. Soon, and very soon, more persons will be looking within the Caribbean than those of us who used to look without for solutions. Today, you are part of that continuing journey of preparing our people for the future, because the future belongs to the prepared. And we have ensured that you are being prepared. So today, no matter what island you are on, you can say with great pride that I am the solution to the problems of the Caribbean. I am the solution to the problems of the world. I am from the Caribbean, and I am proud. I once again wish to congratulate all our top performers across the different categories. I also wish to congratulate all students who sat the examinations. I wish you unlimited success in all your endeavors. I thank all persons and all those persons who work behind the scenes supporting our students in one way or another. And I wish to thank the CXC for 50 years of leadership in regional education and dedicated service, and for your continued service. I pray that God continues to bless and protect you, and may he continue to bless and protect the people of the Caribbean, as we are the solution to the problems that the world has been seeking. Again, congratulations, and I thank you.
Thank you so much, Premier, for the charge where we never forget the journey that we have been on. And if all fails, we go back to our memory, we retrace our steps, and we keep going with success and make that stamp in the world, because there we would have and find all the solutions and make a difference as a Caribbean people. We will now have a Virgin Islands country showcase.
BVI Love is waking up to panoramic views of nature's paradise. It's playing in sparkly white sand and swimming in a majestic blue ocean under a warm Caribbean sun. It's a love you can taste in our appetizing gourmet delights as your mouth waters for the burst of island flavors in our Anegada's catch of the day. Feel the love as you rock away to the inspiring sounds of funky music, or as you dance to the pulsating soca beats. But the crowning glory of true BVI love is our people. It's expressed in the genuine smile on our delightful faces, demonstrated through our zest for life and laughter, and felt in the grasp of a friendly embrace. BVI Love is an unending vacation on glorious beaches, enjoying the finest cuisines while dancing to pulsating music among our proud and friendly people. So what are you waiting for? Come, feel the love.
You can give that a round of applause. Feel the love. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon is a special afternoon for a select group of young, hardworking people from across the Caribbean. The winner of the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, that's the CPEA, story writing competition. The most outstanding performers in the 2021 Caribbean Examination Council's June-July sitting for the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC, the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CSEC, and the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE. These outstanding performers hail from the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Trinidad and Tobago. I now invite Ms. Jodine Williams, Senior Manager, Syllabus and Curriculum Development Department at CXC in Jamaica, to introduce the CPEA Story Writing Competition.
Thank you very much. I recognize the protocols already observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment is an assessment of the key literacies required by all students exiting the primary school system. The CPEA places a high premium on integrating both formative and summative assessment assumptions in teaching and learning. The assessment focuses on critical literacies with a sharper emphasis on skills and competencies than on content. 4 of the key literacies include language, mathematical, civic, and scientific literacies. A major component of the CPEA program involves the use of projects, writing portfolios, journals, and book reports to develop the pupils' language literacy skills. As a part of their writing task, students are required to complete various writing pieces, including narrative pieces. To date, the CPEA has been implemented in 7 territories across the Caribbean, with the most recent being St. Lucia, where the assessment has been implemented for primary school leavers, where the first cohort will sit the examination in 2022. The CPEA story writing competition was conceptualized to provide pupils participating in the CPEA with an opportunity to create stories that would be read by a regional audience of their peers. Students are invited to submit stories that will capture the imagination of the readers and feature the rich, diverse cultures and lifestyles of the region. Entrants were challenged to set their stories in the Caribbean and include aspects of Caribbean life. The 2021 story writing competition panel of judges consisting of teachers and English language experts from across the region chose the top stories from a field of 50 well-written entries. The top stories will be published and illustrated as ebooks and made available on the CXC Learning Hub for all members of the public to read. A hearty congratulations to the winner of the 2020-2021 CPEA Story Writing Competition.
Thank you, Ms. Williams, Senior Manager, Syllabus and Curriculum Development Department at CXC, for the introduction. The winner of the 2020-2021 CPEA Story Writing Competition is Trey Sparks St. Bernard from the Alpha Junior School in Grenada. We will now go across to Grenada to present the first award to Trey Sparks St. Bernard by Mrs. Diane Mitchell-Gooding, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Examinations, Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs, and Information in Grenada. Congratulations, Trey. Well done, and thank you, Mrs. Diane Mitchell-Gooding, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Examinations, Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs, and Information, Grenada. We now move on to the presentation of the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC Awards. The awards are for the top female performer and the top male performer in CCSLC. I now invite Mr. Teddy Rajan, Senior Manager, Examinations Administration and Security Division at CXC in Barbados, to introduce the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC Awards.
Right. All protocols having been established previously, The Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC qualification is designed to develop skills, competencies, and attitudes as a foundation for continued development and lifelong learning. The interdisciplinary approach of this qualification equips students with a wealth of knowledge and practical experience. Awards for the most outstanding performance in the CCSLC examinations were introduced in 2016. Each year, the Caribbean Examinations Council presents awards to the most outstanding male and female candidates in the examinations. CXC offers our congratulations to this year's most outstanding candidates, and we encourage you to keep striving for excellence as you make a positive contribution to the region. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Rajan. We now have the award for the top female performer at Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC. It goes to Tana Valmond of Dominica Grammar School from the Commonwealth of Dominica. Tana achieved grades of Master in English and Mathematics, as well as a grade 1 in CSEC Principles of Business, Virtual Arts, and Physical Education and Sports. We will now go to the Commonwealth of Dominica, where Tana Valmond will receive her award from Senator the Honorable Gregory Rivera, Acting Minister of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Tana Valmond and Senator the Honorable Gregory Rivera, Acting Minister of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence. We remain in the Commonwealth of Dominica for the presentation to the male awardee. The award for the top male performer in the CCSLC examination goes to Jason Joseph from the Castle Bruce Secondary School. Jason achieved grades of Master in English and Mathematics, grade 1 in CSEC, Agricultural Science, grade 2 in CSEC, Principles of Accounts, and grade 3 in CSEC, Information Technology. We will remain in the Commonwealth of Dominica, where Jason Joseph will receive his award from Senator the Honorable Gregory Rivera, Acting Minister of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause again for Jason Joseph from the Castle Bruce Secondary School. And thank you once again, Senator the Honorable Gregory Rivera, Acting Minister of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence. We now present the awards for outstanding performances in the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, that's CSEC. However, before we commence the presentation, I know there are teachers, parents, guardians, relatives, and well-wishers sharing the spotlight this afternoon, where their children and students are being recognized. We would like to acknowledge all those who have supported the top awardees throughout their journey. So let us just give them a round of applause. At this time, we head to Jamaica, and I invite Dr. Eduardo Ali, Pro Registrar and Deputy CEO of CXC, to say a few words ahead of the presentation to the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC awardees.
Good evening, and thank you very much, Madam Master of Ceremony, for the introduction. Honorable Premier Fahey, Premier of the Virgin Islands, Honorable Minister of Education et al., Honorable Wheatley, ministers across the Caribbean region, those persons who represent the ministers across the region, permanent secretaries, CXC council members and colleagues, awardees, and all, good evening from Jamaica. The Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, or CSEC, was the first examination developed by CXC. The 5 CSEC subjects first examined in 1979 were English, mathematics, Caribbean history, geography, and integrated science, with students from 13 participating territories sitting these examinations. Since then, CXC has developed 35 CSEC subjects in the areas of business, humanities, science, mathematics, and technology. The students receiving the CSEC awards for most outstanding performance in their various categories today have demonstrated that they possess a comprehensive understanding of the key concepts, knowledge, skills, and competencies required to perform at the very highest levels. The achievements these students have attained indicate that they are well on their way to becoming the ideal Caribbean person within the tenets that we have espoused for each CSEC syllabus. They enable, through their achievements, regional integration and development within the CARICOM single market and economy, and they are prepared for global active relevance and repositioning as they move across the region through the higher education sectors, through the vocational sectors that they will encounter. So ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate these awardees. And so congratulations to all of you awardees. And I really wish you continued success in all your endeavors. God bless you richly.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. The award for the most outstanding performance in business education at the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC level goes to Narish Jagnanan of the Essequibo Islands Secondary School in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Narish achieves grades of Master in English and Mathematics, as well as grade 1 in Economics, Office Administration, Principles of Accounts, Principles of Business, Electronic Document Preparation and Management, Caribbean History, English A, Integrated Science, Mathematics, Social Studies, and Physical Education and Sports. So we will now go over to the Cooperative Republic of Guyana for the presentation of the award to Narish Jagnanan by Mr. Alfred King, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Narish Jagnanan, and thank you, Mr. Alfred King, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. We remain in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana for the presentation of the next award for the most outstanding performance in humanities, which goes to Roshni Samaru of Queen's College in Guyana. Roshni achieved grade 1 in Caribbean History, English B, Geography, Religious Education, Social Studies, Spanish Economics, English A, Information Technology, Integrated Science, Mathematics, Office Administration, Principles of Accounts, Principles of Business, Electronic Data Preparation and Management, Human and Social Biology, and Additional Mathematics. Roshni will now receive her award from Ms. Volika Jaikishan, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. All right, thank you for that round of applause for Ms. Rushni Samaru, and thank you, Ms. Volika Jaikishan, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. The award for the best short story goes to Ayana Felix of the Bishop and Stay High School East in Trinidad and Tobago. We will now go over to Trinidad and Tobago for the presentation of the award to Ayana Felix by the Honorable Louis Morris Julian, Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ayana Felix, and thank you, the Honorable Lisa Morris Julian, Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago. We remain in Trinidad and Tobago for the presentation of the award for the most outstanding performance in creative and expressive art, which goes to Danielle Sweet of St. Augustine Girls High School in Trinidad and Tobago. Danielle achieved grade 1 in music, theater arts, visual arts, English A, information technology, mathematics and technical drawing, and grade 2 in physics and additional mathematics. We will now go to Danielle, joining us from home. We congratulate you, Danielle Sweet. The award for the most outstanding performance in sciences goes to Rochelle Griffith of St. Joseph Convent, St. George's in Grenada. Rochelle achieved grade 1 results in biology, chemistry, integrated science, physics, human and social biology, additional mathematics, English A, English B, French, information technology, mathematics, principles of business, and technical drawing. Rochelle will now receive her award from Mrs. Diana Mitchell-Goodin, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Examinations, Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs, and Information in Grenada. We thank you and we congratulate you, Ms. Rochelle Griffith. In the area of technical and vocational studies, Serena Razak of Queen's College in Cooperative Republic of Guyana secured the award for the most outstanding performance. Let's congratulate her. Serena achieved grade 1 in information technology, textiles, clothing and fashion, technical drawing, industrial technology, electrical, industrial technology, mechanical, industrial technology, building, biology, chemistry, economics, English A, English B, geography, integrated science, physics, principles of business, electronic document preparation and management, physical education and sports, human and social biology, and additional mathematics. She achieved grade 2 in Caribbean history and social studies and grade 3 in French. Serena will now receive her award from Dr. Retish Tulamram, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. And we commend you, Serena Razak, and we thank you, Dr. Retish Tularam, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education, the Cooperative of Guyana. The award for the most outstanding performance in visual arts 2D goes to Joshua Braley of ASJA Boys College, Charleville in Trinidad and Tobago. We now go over to Trinidad and Tobago for the presentation of the award to Joshua Braley by the Honorable Lisa Morris Julian, Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for Joshua Braley? And we thank you, the Honorable Lisa Morris Julian, Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago, for that presentation. The award for the most outstanding candidate in visual arts 3D goes to Katrina Hall of the Merle Grove High School in Jamaica. We now go over to Jamaica for the presentation of the award to Patrina by the Honorable Fayval Williams, Minister of Education, Youth and Information. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for giving that round of applause for Patrina Hall, and we thank you, Honorable Fayval Williams, Minister of Education, Youth and Information. In 2019, CXC introduced 2 new awards in recognition of the work of the regional stalwarts of education. The first being the University of Guyana's Menzies Rodney Award for Most Outstanding Performance in Caribbean History at the CXC level. The winner in 2021 of the Men's Rodney Award for Most Outstanding Performance in Caribbean History is Roshane Roach of Campion College in Jamaica. We will now have a video presentation from Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin, Vice Chancellor, the University of Guyana.
History dies. The past never truly disappears. And so we must understand what went before us in order to understand our present circumstances and to inform our future. It is not often that we find young people who are interested in history, however, and when do we find them? We must celebrate them. And so the University of Guyana is delighted to present the Menzies Rodney Award for the best graduating student at CXC in history for 2021. This exceptional young woman, Roshane Roach of Campion College in Jamaica, is indeed a champion, and we celebrate her. We are delighted to also celebrate and thank the teachers who would have prepared her and nurtured her love for history. We thank and celebrate her parents, family members, all those in the community of givers and carers and nurturers that we know must prepare and support students like these who excel. We also wish to thank the CXC for partnering with the University of Guyana once again and enabling us to be present in this virtual ceremony to deliver short remarks and to present the awards virtually. We recognize also all of those students this year who took these exams and passed them. Kudos to you, your teachers, your schools, parents, and all those who supported you. Whether you're a winner of a special award or not, The fact that you passed these exams in very difficult times is something to be noted and celebrated. And also to those who did not make it this year, there is a word called perseverance. Get up and try again. You will make it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this year, the University of Guyana is delighted in the name of two of the Caribbean historians from Guyana, both of whom taught at the University of Guyana, Dr. Walter Rodney and Professor Sister Mary Noel Moniz, who is still alive at 92 years old. Both Dr. Rodney and Professor Moniz documented the plight, the conditions, and the processes by which our people in this region became who they are today. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I, on behalf of the University of Guyana, indeed on behalf of the entire country of Guyana, congratulate and present this year's award for the best graduating student in history to Miss Rashawn Roach of Champion College in Jamaica. You are indeed a champion. May you grow from strength to strength. God bless you all, and please continue to stay safe.
We will now go across to Jamaica for the presentation to Rashawn Roach by the Honorable Faithful Williams, Minister of Education, Youth, and Information. Okay, so the person who presented the award is actually Dr. Kassan Troop, the Acting Chief Education Officer. So once again, we say congratulations to Rashawn Roach on your achievement, and we thank you, Dr. Troop, for presenting the award. The second award, introduced in 2019, is the Professor Wilma Bailey Award for the most outstanding performance in geography at the CSEC level. And this goes to, let me make sure that I get this correct, Syntancia Thomas of Verchilds High School in St. Kitts and Nevis is the 2021 winner of the Professor Wilma Bailey Award for the most outstanding performance in geography. We will now view a video by Dr. Corinne Bailey of the Professor Wilma Bailey Foundation.
On behalf of my mother and the rest of the family, I'm very happy to congratulate Syntancia Thomas of Verchilds High School in St. Kitts and Nevis for being the 2021 recipient of the Professor Wilma Bailey Award for the top performing CSEC student in geography. This was a project most near and dear to my mother's heart, so we would all like to thank you very much for helping to ensure that her name and her work lives on. Congratulations, Syntancia.
Syntancia Thomas will now receive her award in St. Kitts and Nevis from Mr. Miguel Thomas, principal of Verchilds High School. Congratulations again, Syntancia Thomas, on your achievement, and thank you, Mr. Thomas, principal of the Verchilds High School. We now come to the moment you have been waiting for, the announcement of the most outstanding candidate overall in the CSEC level. The award goes to, and you can have a mind drum roll. We have a real drum roll. The award goes to Zainab Shafi of Queen's College in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Zainab achieved grade 1 in 18 subjects and grade 2 in 2 subjects. She achieved grade 1 in biology, chemistry, English A, English B, French, geography, information technology, integrated science, mathematics, office administration, physics, principles of business, religious education, social studies, Spanish, electronic document preparation and management, human and social biology, food and nutrition and health. She also received grade 2 in additional mathematics and economics. We now go over to the Cooperative Republic of Guyana for the presentation of the award, where Miss Candice Cave Stevens, principal of the Queen's College Guyana, will accept the award on behalf of Zainab. Congratulations, Zainab Shafi, on your outstanding achievement, as we look forward to hearing your response at the end of the program. The CXC awardees prize package includes a cash prize, a plaque, a gift from Harder Education, and a full scholarship from the University of the West Indies once the awardee goes on to complete CAPE or an associate degree to matriculate to the program he or she wishes to pursue. Since 2001, the University of the West Indies has partnered with CXC to offer scholarships to the CXC regional top awardees. The scholarships are intended to serve as a motivation for students to excel and an attempt to keep the best brains from the region in the region. We now have the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE Awards. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, we have in our midst some very special young people from across the Caribbean. And at this time, we will be presenting the awards for outstanding performances at the CAPE level. I now invite Mrs. Betty Aline Headley, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Barbados, to say a few words ahead of the presentation to the CAPE awardees. Okay, check and see if she's muted. No, she's not. There's just a delay in the technology. We now invite Mrs. Okay, so we now invite Mrs. Betty Aline Headley, who is the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Barbados, to just say a few words ahead of the presentation to the CAPE awardees. Okay, we are not sure what is happening there, but we will move forward. Are we okay to move forward? Okay, so our first recipient is Zoe Gonzalez of the St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain in Trinidad and Tobago. Zoe will be receiving the award for the most outstanding performance in environmental science. She achieved grade 1 in all subjects, including environmental science units 1 and 2, biology units 1 and 2, geography units 1 and 2, Caribbean studies, and communication studies. We now go over to Trinidad and Tobago for the presentation of the award to Zoe Gonzalez by Dr. Lisa Morris Julian, Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago. Let's give them a round of applause. We remain in Trinidad and Tobago for the presentation of the Cape Natural Sciences Award. The award for the most outstanding performance in natural sciences goes to Jessie Rampersad of the Naparima Girls High School in Trinidad and Tobago. Jessie achieved grade 1 in applied mathematics, units 1 and 2, biology, units 1 and 2, chemistry, units 1 and 2, physics, units 1 and 2, pure mathematics, units 1 and 2, Caribbean studies, and communication studies. Jessie will now receive her award from Dr. the Honorable Nayan Gadsby Dolly, Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago. We congratulate you, Jessie, and we thank you, Dr. the Honorable Nayan Gadsby Dolly, Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago. We will now have a cultural showcase titled BVI Love.
Hello. You're welcome.
Carry me back to them old time days. Say, carry me back to them good old days. Carry me back to a place where there is love, where there is happiness, peace and joy. Say, carry me back. Carry me back. Carry me back. Carry me back. Carry me back to them old time days. Say, carry me back to them good old days. Carry me back to a place where there is love, where there is happiness, peace and joy. Say, carry me back. Carry me back. Carry me back. Carry me back. Carry me back to them old time days. Say, carry me back to them good old days. Carry me back to a place where there is love, where there is happiness, peace and joy. Say, carry me back.
This is BVI Love.
Carry me back. Carry me back.
All right, that's our presentation on BVI Love. Love means loving our Virgin Islands every day. We will now present the sponsored awards by our committed partners. This year, for the first time, an award is being presented for the most outstanding performance in the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination Cape Financial Services Studies. This is the result of a newly formed partnership between CXC and the Caribbean Association of Banks. The first recipient of this award goes to Anastasia Hastings. Anastasia receives, or she has achieved, a grade 2 in Financial Services Study, Unit 1, grade 3 in Financial Services Study, Unit 2. She also achieved grade 2 in Accounting Unit 1, Management of Business Units 1 and 2, grade 3 in Caribbean Studies and Communication Studies, and grade 4 in Pure Mathematics Unit 1. We will now have a video presentation from Miss Wendy Delmar, Chair or Chief Executive Officer of the Caribbean Association of Banks.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and members of the Caribbean Association of Banks, it truly is my distinct pleasure to extend congratulations to Anastasia Hastings, our top performing student in Financial Services Studies at the 2021 CAPE exams. I am sure that Ms. Hastings' former teachers at St. Elizabeth Technical High School in Jamaica, family and friends must be exceptionally proud of her, and so are we. Anastasia, we truly hope that at some point you would indeed become a career banker. The Caribbean financial services sector is vibrant, dynamic, and rich with possibilities, and it is certainly a very exciting period to enter into the market. Cape Financial Services Studies is meant to serve as part of the foundation for developing greater regional expertise in financial services, and more students are taking up this subject. The growth in the number of candidates in a relatively short period of time is indeed commendable, and we look forward to this continued growth. Once again, congratulations to you, Ms. Hastings, and thank you to the CXC family.
We will now go across to Jamaica for the presentation to Anastasia Hastings from Dr. Kassan Troop, Chief Education Officer. We will remain in Jamaica for the next award. Jade Simmons of Campion College in Jamaica secured the other top award, excelling in the field of humanities, and she will receive the Higher Education Sponsored Award for Most Outstanding Performance. Jade achieved grade 1 in Law, Units 1 and 2, Sociology, Unit 1 and 2, Caribbean Studies, Communication Studies, and Economics, Unit 2. She also achieved grade 3 in Economics Unit 1. We will now have a video presentation from Mrs. Denise Watts Lawrence, Head of Sales and Marketing for the Caribbean Higher Education.
Good evening. On behalf of Higher Education, I wish to recognize and congratulate this year's outstanding candidate and winner, the CXC Higher Education Award for Outstanding Performance in Cape Humanities. The award this year will go to Ms. Jade Simmons of Campion College in Jamaica. We are proud to support the development of the next generation of leaders and scholars, and will continue to do so through the resources and the other support we provide to candidates around the region. Jade, your focus and dedication to your development will serve as an inspiration to others. Again, congratulations. Your hard work truly paid off.
All right, we will now go across to Jamaica for the presentation to Jade Simmons, and this presentation will be done by Dr. Kassan Troop, who is the Chief Education Officer. Congratulations, Jade, on your accomplishment. In Trinidad and Tobago, we will present the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants Award to the most outstanding performance in business studies at the Cape level. This award goes to Nikisha Nanku of the Lakshmi Girls Hindu College. She achieved grade 1 in a variety of business subjects, inclusive of accounting units 1 and 2, economics units 1 and 2, and management of business units 1 and 2. She also achieved grade 1 in Caribbean Studies and Communication Studies. The Association of Chartered Certified Accountants Award for the most outstanding performance in principles of accounts goes to Tashana Riley of Trinidad and Tobago. We will now have a video presentation from Mrs. Shelley Ann Mohammed, head of the ACCA Caribbean.
Good afternoon. I am Shelley Ann Mohammed, head of ACCA Caribbean. I am thrilled to be a part of this auspicious virtual ceremony as we get an opportunity to celebrate the incredible achievements of high school students from across the region. We are happy to once again partner with CXC for this event. As we continue to navigate the challenges of the pandemic in this region and look toward a new way of life, we celebrate the successes of our young people across the Caribbean. On behalf of ACCA, I extend sincere congratulations to all top performers and awardees whose hard work and achievement have brought them to the recognition they so rightly deserve. Thank you to our partner, CXC, for the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of future professionals. Please continue to be safe and best wishes for your continued success in your study journey. Thank you.
We will now go across to Trinidad and Tobago for the presentation of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants Award for the most outstanding